You know, I never think of it because I don't drink coffee, so I never even think of it.
Yeah, but I do.
I'm a social drinker.
Three cups in, and now I'm on the Coke Zero, so.
Well, that's what I drink is Coke Zero. We'll give it a couple more minutes. I know Paul's supposed to be here, so.
They just need Al was gonna be on.
Al is on vacation. He let me know back in December that he wasn't.
Right.
Rich, might nominate you or Paul for president. I don't mind whichever
Well,
one you want.
you remember, used to, it was whoever didn't show up to the meeting.
That
But
is
he's
a
already
fact.
volunteered to be secretary, so
That
I
is-
thought maybe the new guy.
We can make Al president and secretary if we do that.
I've heard of secretary treasurer before, I don't know about secretary president.
Yeah.
Of course, Paul's not here either yet, so.
True, yeah, if he didn't show, then we could nominate him.
Does Al agree to be secretary still?
Yeah. Yeah, he called me back in December and said he was gonna be out of town. He said, hey, I'll continue being secretary if you want. And he said, unless you wanna change it. And I said, I don't think you'll find any argument on that.
By my watch, Mr. President, we're at 7:30, so.
Well, I mean, we've got a quorum, to go, so.
Yeah.
Are we all live now? All right. Well, it's 7:30. We'll go ahead and get started here, and Paul should be coming in. He said he was gonna be here. Wanted to start the meeting off today. We lost, as everybody knows, we lost a member of our board here recently with the passing of Phil Deckard, and out of respect for Phil, I'd just like to call a moment of silence. All right, thank you. Phil was a good guy, helped us out a lot. The city council has appointed John Badger to take his position. John, welcome.
Thank you.
Look forward to you helping us out. We do a lot of stuff for the community. That's our key, is the money we spend all goes back in the community, and also we look forward to your expertise and helping us out there.
Okay, we'll see about that.
All right, we'll dive on in. The minutes were in the packet. Now, these are the minutes from November.
Sorry to interrupt, Rich, but with secretary, I think that you should go ahead and do a roll call.
Okay.
Just to keep everything square.
I can go ahead and sit in for the secretary also. Okay, roll call. Dare Grant,
Present.
John Badger,
Present.
Al Meyer, Paul Lauk, and Rich Griswold. I am present. So we do have a quorum.
Thank you.
Since we did not have a meeting in December, there's no minutes there, but we did have a meeting in November, so those minutes are in your packet if there's any questions.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as written.
Thank you. Is it okay if I second that? I mean,
I think President can second, you just technically can't call for a vote,
Okay.
you can't create a motion.
since John wasn't
Yeah.
part of, I'll go ahead and second that then. All right, all in favor of approving the minutes from November, say aye.
Aye.
I probably should abstain.
Okay.
We may need to push that off till next month.
Yeah, we may need to do that
Approve
next
both.
month since we
Yeah.
don't have a,
Right.
if Paul shows up, we'll come back to that. Our claims for this month are in your packet also. And it looks like, let's see, we had Banning Engineering. Finished now, a lot of these were from last year since we didn't have our meeting in December. These were actually for November that we're just now paying. One was for the house over on Southview Drive, winterizing it and getting it all ready. And then, so our total amount of claims, I got stuff scattered all over the place here.
Rich, do you know what the stormwater control project one was? I don't know that
I was gonna ask the mayor on, do you have any idea what I was hoping Ben would be here to ask him.
What was the cost of that?
It was $10,000 total to ARA, but it's referencing the stormwater control project.
I know at ARA, we had a grant process through winterizing some homes. But as far as the wastewater project, I'm not sure.
Now, this says the South Levy.
Oh,
between
there we
the
go.
city. Yeah,
It's
it has to
in
do with-
regards to the levy.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that as stormwater control,
I
so
just saw it down in there.
it's part of the levy project.
The levy.
Yeah, thank you, Rich.
Hey, Derek?
Yeah.
That's part of the levy project.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, can I have a motion to approve our claims?
So moved.
There. And I'll go ahead and second, since most of it was from our November time. John, you will still abstain on that?
Yeah.
Okay, and we may have to wait to get approval on this till next month also, unless Paul pops in. Okay, the funding reports you have in your packet, in the bond, we still got 222,000, and then in the TIP one, we've still got 317. And it looks like the loan was taken care of to finish off the theater at the end of the year. Looks like that's been taken care of too. Any questions on those? Now, Mayor, will you be stepping in now for right now to
Sure.
handle Gary's part of it?
As you know, Gary retired at the end of December. We are actively looking to replace Gary. In our budget and our salary ordinances, we did away with the position of Director of Planning and Engineering. Most projects, well, all projects seem to have some type of specific engineer we have to have for that project. So we're looking at the cost of a new engineer would be between $150,000 and $175,000. So we thought we would go a different route and look at hiring either a city planner or a compliance officer. After looking through most of what Gary was doing, 80% of his work was compliance related. So we're thinking that we can get a compliance officer for $75,000, which would save the city anywhere from $75,000 to $100,000. And with the governor's tax bill going into place, that's going to be advantageous for us. So we're currently looking for someone to take that Gary's position, but it's not really the position that Gary had. Projects still keep going. We have a lot of activity going on down on South Ohio Street. Jimmy John's, Dunkin' Donuts, and Little Caesars are looking to go into that complex. Chicago Pizza opened up last week. The city and the county are working together on a prompt care, and we have an open house there today in one of the buildings. And we still continue to get interest on the lots on the north side of Ohio Street or east side. It depends on where you're standing there. So activity's still going on there. Still looking to put housing in on the east side of 69 between 252 and 44. 68 acres the council voted to bring into the city limits, and so we're working with a four-star developer there. That's the same company that developed Hannah Farms. So we're moving ahead there. We got a meeting with them later on this month also. So things keep happening, and people still showing a huge interest in coming to Martinsville. Any questions?
I mean, right now, we don't have much money to do much in the RDC right now, but do you see any major things coming up down the road? Any
No,
ideas?
I know you'll get your next draw in June. I think it's for another $1.5 million roughly, and at this point, I don't see anything coming down the pipe for the RDC, just maintaining what we're doing and what we've got. Theater had a good December, the grand opening and the concerts and movies then. Last weekend, we had a concert there, and a lot of activities planned for this month also. I think we've got 23 more concerts scheduled for the end of the year.
Now, we talked about the park over on Southview Drive. We're waiting on FEMA and all that kind of stuff.
Correct,
So
we're waiting
still just
for,
waiting.
Mr. Porter had Homeland Security approve it. Now it's been sent to FEMA, and was sent to FEMA right during the government shutdown, so we're not sure where we have fallen into that maze of projects being approved by them.
Still in the process then.
Right, and we're also in the same way with the levy. We've got the levy, we've worked with Granting Engineering, we've got that approved, and so that's been sent to FEMA also. So as soon as FEMA will approve the levy, then we're gonna have all those residents taken out of the floodplain, which would be beneficial to them.
Right. Oh, yeah. All right, any questions for the mayor?
Where do you see the traffic study that we had talked about for the Ruth Rusey Ohio Street intersection to potentially entice that development in that corner? You said there's still interest in it. Is that something that you think that we should still try and keep on?
I would still keep it on the books. I would look for maybe till around May to look at that.
Well, we talked about, when's Turkey Hill gonna be?
Well, they
talked about waiting.
talked to Bob Strader yesterday on their signage and everything, but they still haven't had their approvals from the state. So they can't start anything until they get the approvals from the state, but they're wanting to get in there. And the holdup there was the city did not want to give them access from Ohio Street over to the private drive of Kroger's. We didn't want that to be a cut through. They weren't very happy about that, but they finally saw our way and the reason why we needed that.
I think that was kind of the only other thing that was kind of hanging out there, right?
Yeah, we had talked about putting that on hold, depending
Yeah, I
on.
think we were kind of
the-
hoping to find somebody who might split the cost with this.
Yeah.
Somebody who's more interested in that property specifically.
Right.
Yeah.
And the new developers that are looking at that, we're not saying we're gonna do this, that, or whatever, because again, with the governor's tax bill coming in and what the city's gonna be looking at and losing money-wise the next few years, we're being kind of stingy.
Yeah.
Is there still, I think Gary had mentioned maybe even the Marriott, like a convention center and so forth in that area. Is that, are they still talking, or is that?
I
One of
think
many.
that specific group, I think, have maybe gone away because they were tied into the project on South Main Street
Okay.
where the old IGA was. I think they're a little disheartened, so they may not come back, but we have a couple other people looking at that area. In fact, we talked to a gentleman last week that's very interested in that area.
Great.
All right, any other questions? We'll come back to you when we get down in here. I want to hit the attorney's report, and then we got a couple other things that I want you to jump
Okay.
in on too.
Okay.
Joe? You
Nothing really on my end. I've talked to Dale Coffey, the city attorney, about starting the transfer process of the properties that the RDC owns, just to move them from RDC ownership to city ownership, and also to help, that should make it easier to rezone, and some of the properties we were just talking about over there on Ohio Street, as well as typically, I think that Southview property that we just paid the renotarization and so forth, to try and just get everything. Since the RDC has finished all the upgrades and the parking lots and so forth, to get them over to the city, so it's just a matter of getting all those things done, and we can just sign off on the quick claims and get them over to the city rolls. So really, I'm just kind of waiting for Dale to do that, because it's, a city attorney is probably cheaper for him to do the paperwork than me to spend the time to do the paperwork, so trying to make it more cost effective for the city.
Okay, so hopefully we'll get all that taken care of then and get those out of the RDC then. Okay, some stuff we had talked about at the end of the year. We were talking about the properties down there, the end of Ohio Street, the 6 lots there, about rezoning. Gary was talking about rezoning those, and then we were talking about adding them to the TIF for this year. Mayor, do you want to chime in on that? And Joe?
When, I don't know if that's part of the properties you're looking at, changing the title or the deed over to the
I
city.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, they're in the RDC name right now.
My thought would be the RDC may want to see what happens there for about another 6 months. I know there was one developer that wanted us to come in and they just wanted to buy them off of us for X number of dollars. So I would like to, if we're going to have that happen in the next 6 months, I'd rather see those funds roll into the RDC, because we have a little more flexibility on what we can do with those funds for the betterment of the city. As far as the rezoning, I think, you know, we could go ahead and move forward with that and go ahead and get that in the TIF district. So I don't know if Ben would need to help out with that, or what we might need to do going forward. But as far as putting those in the city's name, I would hold off on it just a little bit.
Well, as far as, so I guess 2 different things, and I understand the wanting to use proceeds one way or the other. As far as if the RDC sells them, technically I don't think the RDC really supposed to be kind of the holding company, but I'll double check those issues as far as ownership, and zoning could probably go either way. As far as the TIF expansion, I believe that essentially backdates to January 1st, so we can absolutely wait until
So we can hold off.
till probably, you know, May or June, to make sure that we have time to get the whole thing finished before the end of this year, but we can look back. So yeah, I think starting the process now is absolutely premature. We should wait and see.
And then that
where
way if
things
something
go.
else was to come up, we can include in there
Exactly, yeah.
also then.
Because there's a chance of a lot of stuff happening, not just in that Ohio Street
Right.
area, but throughout the city. There's a chance that we might want to pull up some other things, like South Morton or anything
Yeah,
where they just built a Verizon
you've got
store.
Verizon down there that's opened up now, so I think that's going to attract a few more businesses over on that south
Right.
end.
So I think we should
Okay.
wait on the TIF aspect.
So the rezoning, you want to go ahead and process with that, or you want to hold off on that then?
I don't see a reason why we couldn't go forward. Joe, if you want to talk with Dale and see, you know, maybe there's something that I
Yeah, I could talk to
don't
Dale.
understand, don't realize, but I would think we could be able to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, or
Because
at
it's
least,
probably some, what, residential now?
I think so. So
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
if anything, just maybe go to more of a mixed use, since we're not sure exactly what might go in there.
Yeah, the thought process was if it was done already, if
Right.
someone was coming in, that's one less the hoop that they have to jump through is
Right.
rezoning if it's already done.
Yeah,
And one thing I did feel, the Fort Bear Feed Complex is, you know, still up for sale. The Morgan County Economic Development still having people look at that property. One of them wanted to buy some of the outlots and put in storage. Well, we really don't need any more storage here, and that's not the best use for that property, so we kind of told that developer that that probably wouldn't fly. So,
So the whole facility, factory and everything, or just, oh, I did not know
yeah.
that. Are they gonna relocate?
What their ideal situation would be, they don't need all of that building. They'd like to sell the building and lease
And lease
back some of the warehouse
I gotcha.
part.
I know that Gary had mentioned just right there at South in Ohio, that corner kind of in the front, that's currently a grassy field is a potential partial lot for something. I don't remember what he said.
I'm thinking of it, Rich, as a bank or a
Yeah,
credit
there's-
union or something.
Supposedly there
Yeah.
was a bank that was actually looking at that property
Right.
to go in there. I don't know what bank it was, but
Yeah.
there was a bank, it was an out-of-town bank.
Yeah, but I haven't heard anything
I
else
haven't
from
heard
them.
any more on that.
Okay.
Any other questions on the rezoning and TIFs and all that? All right, thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you, guys.
Since John has been appointed to our board now, we've got a quorum as far as electing officers for 2026. This past year, we had Al was the secretary, and Al has already stated he'd be more than happy to continue on as secretary. Dare was the vice president, and then I held the president's. I've asked around for anybody that wanted to volunteer to step in as president, and my phone has not rang any, so.
I'd like to nominate Rich Griswold for president.
So I honestly, I really feel we've got a really good team. Things went smoothly. Seems like here the last couple of years, well, really the last 3 or 4 years, things have really, I mean, even when Dare, how long were you president?
Through 3 or 4 years in a row. I think.
So, I mean, things have gone pretty smooth. I don't see a reason, I need a motion though, just to keep the slate of officers the same, and we can vote on it. If
Well, I
you
guess,
wanna-
Dare, if you want to amend
you
your
wanna-
motion to.
Yeah, I'll amend my motion to be Rich Griswold as president, myself as vice president, and Al Myers as secretary.
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And motion carries. So that's one less thing we have to worry about. All right, that is pretty much all I've got. As I was coming in, Mac Dunn gave me a little thing he put together of what all the city's done this past year, along with our help also. And it's pretty extensive of what the city's done so far this year, as far as building out of the street department, building the new salt barn, completing the levee. That was a $15 million project that had no choice, had to be done. Updated the north levee, which was another $5 million, which flood insurance is going to be, once everything is approved, flood insurance will go away from a lot of homes out there. We finished up the theater. We've got no debt on it. That was $3.4 million. We demoed 3 homes up on the East Morgan Street area that had been a lot of problems with the law enforcement and all. Put a really nice parking lot in there to help with the parking down on the square. Extended sewer utility to Blue Bluff, to the Cragen Farm area. Constructed 5.5 miles of sidewalks, which, I mean, we've all seen that around town. It's been annexed 68 acres for new housing addition, which would 165 new homes, and then built the new police station that has been a really beautiful site for the city as you come in from that area with the fire station and all that. So quite a bit done in 2025. So a lot to be proud of. So is there anything anybody else has before I adjourn? Anybody from the audience have anything to say? All right, I'm going to adjourn us till the next meeting. Thanks, everybody.